Hello, everyone. In this little video, we're going to go over options, basically how I find them and, how I choose the plays for them. So here on the right side, you're going to see this little list I have of stocks here. This is actually the only stocks I actually have on watch list at all times. Um, I actually took off Boeing off of this one recently. Um, just because I made money on it many times and I, of course, lost money on it many times. It's a little tricky right now, but here's my list right here. Now, if we go over here, this is a whole new list. So this is something I look at and I go through. And this is just a scanner that I made that has worked in the past. And it brought us TSCO the other day that went up, a good 40–50% after a 2-day swing. So, this is something I play with and, check it out, check for good patterns, check for, bounces off supports and everything, and, stuff like that. Um, so if we go back here, here's what I look at, all these stocks. So like I said, when I do have, I just have an 8 to 10 stock watch list, and I just go through them and, play off this watch list. So with that said, let's go into the contracts. So I just made it easy. I clicked on Apple, and this is the contracts for Apple. So safety wise, I like to go 3 to 4 weeks out. So right now we are August, let's see, we are August 5th or 6th. We are the 5th. So Wednesday the 5th. 2 weeks out would be the 21st. I usually like to play monthly calls, but because these are, pretty liquid, a lot of volume on, any of these sets of contracts because it's Apple. So the August 28th will be 3 weeks out. So we got safety in there due to time. And due to safety, I want to go near the money. So 440, Apple can make a $5 to $10 move in a day. So the 455s won't be that bad. I know they're a little pricey, so I just picked Apple just to, give an example. But yeah, so it's $15 out of the money, which is decently far, but within 2 to 3 days, you know, if that, it could hit that 455, and we have 3 weeks of time. So that is right now 17 to 18 trading days. So in 2 to 3 days, that move could be made, and these contracts could be in the money. So that's why I look for these. And if you see here, I'll show you. I want the delta to be over 30 cents, and we are over 30 cents. So main goal is to have the delta at least, 27 to 30 cents. Usually if it's under 30 cents, it's too far out. So that's the goal there. Keep it over 30 cents. So let me go back here. Hold on 1 second. So I would have picked that play. If we wanted to do, let's see, Facebook. So I do the same thing. We got in the Facebook calls last week, so we did the August 21st. Do the August 28th here. And 249, so we could do the 255, so only $6 out. That could be another 2 to 3 day move. And let's see these here. These are 41 cents, so it works out perfectly. Another good thing I like to do, so if earnings are over for these stocks, and let's say the market is nearing a bottom, or at least a bottom we think is going to happen, I'd go even farther out, look for September 18th. So this is now 6 weeks out. So we have a lot of time. If it falls to 245, these options won't die that much. And still going to buy near the money. So instead of the 255s, we'll go for the 260s. The delta would be about 37 to 40 cents still. Yep, there we go, 38 cents. So this would be a good play too. So, the earnings are over, so we don't have to worry about earnings because they just came out. So we have time on these. We just focus on the chart and how the market is moving. So, this is the one thing I focus on. Um, ES, which is the futures of SPY. This basically is what most of our stocks relate to, such as Facebook, Apple, and everything else on here. Um, and this is what I chart everything off of when I talk about SPY. So that's what I look for there. Uh, and to choose a play off the watch list, for example, we'll go here. We'll look at, I believe it was Netflix we were talking about with Brandon. So this is pretty interesting right here. We were talking about 500 break yesterday. It did break that 500. We have a mini volume shelf here, which is beautiful. You see you have the 14 and 30 SMAs here at around the 493 range. That's where also the big, part of the volume is. And we have volume even, up to this area. So, this could be a decent play down the road, something we look at. Let's look at Apple. So this one we gapped up a lot, obviously, as you can see. We're hitting a trend line 3 days in a row, can't break it. And you can see the 14 and 30 SMA is, let's see, $44 off of the price right now, which is very, very far away. And this one is about $54 off the price, or yeah, $54 off the price of that gap. So, that's a big gap to fill. It's very possible we fill this gap right here at 425, and that's where we could look for a long position here. I actually do think in the next coming days that we do see a downfall, and you can see the same thing here. We are at 325, and this is at 332. We are at 318, and this is at 332. So we could fill this gap too at 329, and even fill this gap here at like 326, 327. And at those areas, I'd start to buy. And we had the big volume shelf down here at 320 to 323. So, that's something I look for. Basically, how I get into options is looking at the charts, looking at the overall market, SPY and ES, and choosing my contracts from there. So if I know we're only going to swing a play, 1 to 2 days, like we did, I believe TSCO, I only got 2 weeks out, and that's just because we weren't going to hold it that long, so I didn't need to get 4 to 5 weeks out, and we got lower premiums and a decent sized move in the contracts because it was close to the money. Now, just because we buy farther out doesn't mean the contracts don't move at a smaller rate. The closer we get to the money and the more we do get into the money, those far out contracts, they move. They really start to move because they're higher premiums. And those dollar moves, rather than those 20 cent 30% move, 20-cent moves that you usually get that could act as 50% moves off of a very smaller contract, those dollar moves really turn into money, compared to the 20-cent moves. Not saying they're bad, by the way, but you'd have to get let's say 5 to 10 times the amount of contracts you have than the higher premium ones that go up $1. So this is a play that we only did a few days, and you can see we had a nice move. I think we sold at around the 40% mark. I believe right now they're over 100%. So stuff like that. Let's see, and basically that's really it. I just basically chart, look at the watch list, I check this out, and I just dive right through it. And this is where I found TSCO. So I'll send this out to when I send out this video. So yeah, just want to keep the video short, keep it to the point. This is what we do. Well, this is what I do for the option plays that we have. And I double check it on Thinkorswim, and I double check it on TrendSpider, which is a great service. And other than that, this is what we focus on for the option plays. I'm going to be sending out a short video on how to short and everything by tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it definitely helped you. If not, please ask me questions. I'll be glad to answer them. Have a great night.